Good evening. Welcome to the Rowley Board of Selectmen meeting of July 14th, 2014, at the time being 7 p.m. As a reminder, we want to let you know that this meeting is being audio and video recorded digitally. The first order of business is to call the meeting to order. And before we do the Pledge of Allegiance, I would like to ask for a moment of silence for Donald Cudum, who is a past selectman in the town of Rowley and was also on the auxiliary police department for a while in Rowley. So if we could have a moment of silence, please, to honor him. Thank you. The next order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance or flag. Brent, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Brent. Given the fact that we don't have any air conditioning tonight, I'm going to skip the chairman's comments so that we can move on and hopefully get this done before we all
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
get overheated. I was trying to think of a good comment.
That's a sign of a good chairman.
From 7:05 to 7:15, we will have citizens query. The time being about 3 after 7 now. In a couple of minutes, we'll start that. We have 4 appointments tonight. 3 of them are to do with the Conservation Commission opening. And the 4th one will be Fire Chief James Broderick to discuss ladder truck. Okay, our first order of business under general business is signed liquor license for Alfalfa Farms. License to sell wine at the Rowley Farmers Market. The Licensing Board of the Town of Rowley, Massachusetts hereby grants a license to sell wine and provide samples of wine to Alfalfa Farm Inc. on the Rowley Town Common during the Farmers Market scheduled during 2014 on the following dates: July 13th, July 20th, July 27th, August 3rd, August 10th, August 17th, August 24th, August 31st, September 7th, September 14th, September 21, September 28th, and October 5th. Wine samples will not be more than 5 milliliters each, and no more than 5 samples will be served to any one individual. This license expires December 31st, 2014, unless either suspended, canceled, or revoked. In testimony whereof, the undersigned have hereto affixed their official signatures this 30th day of June, 2014. And this license shall be displayed on the premises in a conspicuous position where it can easily be read. So, we need it. Did we vote on that before, Deb?
You did vote, so it'll just be a vote to sign.
Okay.
It's already been approved. That's
Entertain a
stated.
motion? Yep.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to sign the license for the wine sale at the farmer's market.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, old business. Actually, we can open the citizens query at 7:05. Is there any queries out here at this point? Hearing none, seeing none, we'll continue. General business number 2, sign liquor license for Rowley Country Club, Rowley Golf Course, LLC, DBA Rowley Country Club. I'm assuming we already voted for this also, just
A
need to
vote
sign?
to sign only. It's already been approved by the.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Local and state.
Motion made and seconded to sign the license for the Rowley Golf Course, DBA Rowley Country Club. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Old business number 3, road opening permit request from National Grid for 50 Cross Street for new gas service. Okay, it's been approved by the Highway Department. It's also been approved by the Conservation Agent. Is there any discussion?
Give you a motion, Mr. Chairman. Sign.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to allow National Grid to install a gas service at 50 Cross Street. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Chairman.
Thank you. Old business number 4, road opening permit request from National Grid for 128 Weathersfield Street for new gas service.
Give you a motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded to sign the application. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. General business item number 5, road opening permit request from National Grid for gas leak repair at 87 Weathersfield Street.
Give me that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion made
Second.
and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. And general business item number 6, road opening permit request from National Grid for 6 Bradford Street for new gas service.
I'll give you that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. finishes up general business. The next item we have is new business. And it's fiscal year 15 reappointments and appointments. Sounds like a repeat of last week.
You want me to start?
The first item is one that I have to recuse myself on. And Mr. Vice Chairman, could we do the first one?
Yes, sir. For call firefighters, 1-year term, Joseph R. Murray, 6/30/2015.
Make that motion. Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Recused. The second list is health agents, limited health agents. Susan Hazen, Town Clerk, to 6/30/15. Barbara Demento, 6/30/15. David W. Roberts, to 6/30/15. Susan Leach, to 6/30/15. And Donald Russo, to 6/30/15.
Give that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion made
Second.
and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Abstain. Okay, one abstention. Town Common Restoration Committee. Joseph Perry, Board of Selectmen. Frank Todd, Rowley Historical District, and these all go to 6/30/15. Dan Sapansky, Great Marsh Garden Club. Sheila Clark, Great Marsh Garden Club. David Jakewith, Planning Board. Ron Keefe, Highway Department. Sarah Block, Rowley Historical District Commission. Cliff Pierce, Planning Board. Sharon Emery, Resident. Roy Ricker, Water Department. Mark Anderson, Light Department. Stuart L. Dalzell Sr., Citizen Representative.
Give you that motion. A second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
With one abstention. Okay. We've got about 1 minute to go. So we'll skip over the new business one, 'cause that'll take a little bit longer. And Deb, can we do number 3 in about 2 minutes?
I think so.
Okay. You talked to him today?
Yes, I did. And, so if you're familiar with Fox 25, every Friday in the summer, starting I think on Memorial Day or Labor Day weekend, they have a zip trip to a municipality in either Massachusetts or southern New Hampshire. So they've selected Rowley for Friday, August 22nd. So they're interested in having a live show in Rowley. I discussed with the producer the location, and they seem to be very interested in the town common, and I indicated that that would require approval of the Board of Selectmen. So they set up at 3 a.m., they go live at 6 a.m. till 10 a.m., and they are packed up and gone by 11 a.m.
Oh, good.
So they would need permission from the Board of Selectmen to have this event. I did discuss that coincidentally it was the town's 375th anniversary, and they seem very interested in that. So it may be something that the Selectmen would like to consider, giving them permission to do the show from the town common. We should discuss parking and some practical issues relating to access to the common.
Right, so we don't have to do that tonight. We can kind of think it over.
Yeah,
and
so
they're going to get back to us anyway, I believe.
they'll be getting back to us, but I do need to indicate whether or not they have permission from the Selectmen to do the show
Okay.
from the town common on Friday, August 22nd. Setting up at 3 a.m. and vacating by 11.
So we could vote on that tonight if we need to.
Yeah, they're looking for permission.
Okay.
I'll make that motion based on
there any
the Rowley 375.
Is there any discussion?
I'll second that.
Well, we can
discussion.
do discussion.
I think they need to see the real old Nancy.
Yeah.
Some people are under an illusion.
To be honest with you, they actually have.
Oh, they have?
Oh, yes.
Well, I think it should be taken out of the strategic weapons depot and shown to
It
them.
was about 2 years ago now
Oh, okay.
that they did a zip trip in Georgetown. So
Where they saw the not so real.
they're not so real came, but the BB came over to Raleigh
Ah,
and we met on the common with old Nancy at that time. So BB is very familiar with old Nancy.
might be nice to roll it out.
We definitely gotta roll it out.
Oh, okay.
No question about that. Spruce it up and get up some flags
Bob's gonna got it.
with the musket.
The other strategic weapon.
And I bring along my better half and she has a pitchfork, so we just
Oh,
be
okay,
careful.
that's good. All right.
So, okay, that being said, a motion made and seconded to give permission to Fox News 25 for use of the Raleigh Common if they so choose to do that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Very good. Okay, the time being slightly after 7:15. We will get into our next appointments. And that means I've got to change folders. Okay. At 7:15, we have Howard Vogel to discuss Conservation Commission opening. I'm assuming you're Howard?
Yes, I am.
Yes, come right up front here, Howard.
I'll say hi.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hi.
I think we met briefly
Well,
in
that
the
could
hallway
be.
here a
That-
couple months ago.
Okay, that could very well be. Okay, so we have an appointment at 7:15. It's Howard Vogel to discuss Conservation Commission opening. Mr. Vogel has submitted a letter and resume. The Conservation Commission had submitted a letter to the Board of Selectmen. The Selectmen can ask the following questions. And the first question we're going to ask you is kind of rudimentary. Why do you want to be on the Conservation Commission?
Yeah, I think it goes way back. I mean, even as a young kid, I lived in a community very similar to Raleigh in western New York. It was like a farming community. We had woods behind our yard. We'd get home from school and, sometime around 6 o'clock when dinner was being served, we'd come back. So I was very fortunate to be brought up having all this outdoor space that we could roam in. So as time went on, my kids, I got very involved. I moved to Lexington in the 70s and was very involved there with the league and all that, and got to take advantage of all the things they had in that town. My job didn't allow me to get involved in politics, but I always kind of wanted to get involved in local politics, so I was able to get on the Recreation Committee about 6 years ago. Did a lot of work there. I became vice chairman of that. And so my son moved to Raleigh 2 years ago. And fortunately, we were looking for a condo, and the condos came up at the country club over there. So we were there the day they put the trailer in, and we moved in there in February. So I came down here looking. I want to be involved in it. I think the best way to get to know a town is to get involved. And I just have a passion for the outdoors, skiers, hikers, bikers, and I think the neat thing about Raleigh is just the investigation I've done. You've got a lot of conservation done already, and I think it's just an absolutely beautiful town, and I'd like to be involved in keeping it that way.
Very good. And you pretty much told us about yourself. You got anything to add about that?
I originally was an engineer for 3 years, and got more into it. I was an R&D guy, but then went into the sales and marketing side of it. So I started with Hewlett Packard, and we divested, became a company called Agilent. August 1st, we divest again, and we become a company called Keysight. Like I said, I'm very involved in a lot of recreation activities. I'm a skier, we play a lot of golf. we have a home up in Maine. My wife's from Bangor, Maine. So we actually have a place up in Southwest Harbor, which is Acadia National Park. So we do a lot of hiking and biking and stuff like that up there. And we're involved in some of the activities up there, helping out. So there's a Camp Beach Cliff that I'm on the board, and also going to a golf course up there that I'm on the board there as well. We like to get involved. If we're going to live someplace or be someplace, we like to be part of it.
Okay. So that's the next one, Paul.
Conservation Commission's responsibilities have expanded over the past several years, from strictly enforcing state wetlands protection law to enforcing the town's wetland bylaws, stormwater bylaw, and maintaining large tracts of conservation land. Additionally, Conservation Commission is involved in environmental regulations, including the National Pollution Discharge Elimination System under the Federal Clean Water Act. Please describe your knowledge of the responsibilities of the Conservation Commission as related to these laws and regulations.
I'd say at this point, I mean, I don't have by any means a knowledge of all, the regulations, right? And in fact, that was the one thing that I saw different between being part of the Recreation Committee in Lexington and, on this Conservation Committee, is that, there we were involved with large budgets and a lot of different organizations, and I had to present to town meeting, I had to present to selectmen. I don't know a lot of those laws, okay, but I did go to the meeting. I did see you have in Brent, you got obviously someone who really does know that, and I think the key is that, in fact, I was just talking to him today, and similar to the recreation, it took me a year and a half, 2 years just to get really totally involved, but I'm an engineer, and I've learned to learn, and so I don't think it's anything that I couldn't pick up. And going to the meetings, I can see how they do depend on a lot of other, besides depending on bringing in engineering companies. So I think the thing is that as part of the committee member, I think it's the committee's responsibility to make sure you go through due process and use common sense and try to represent the people of the town too. I think I can learn, but I don't know. I wouldn't pretend to know 10% of what's involved.
Yep.
The Conservation Commission typically meets every 3 weeks on a Tuesday evening.
Yeah.
Are you available to attend these meetings?
Yes, I am. In fact, what I do now, even though we have a place up in Maine, I commute. I'm here every Monday morning. I stay here until Thursday night and I go back. And actually, part of when I took on the Recreation Committee, before I had a job that I was traveling through, typically I was 3 weeks a month somewhere in the United States. And so I didn't start into that role until I had a different job. Now I'm a sales guy for all New England, so I'm local. So, I'm not going to attend every meeting, but I think I can put into my calendar, work my calendar appropriately.
Yeah, they set their calendar a year in advance every November, so you'll have the meeting dates.
Okay, also this appointment is for a 3-year term, which would expire on June 30th, 2017. You think you can be able to make that type of a commitment?
Sure. Wouldn't be here if I didn't think I could.
Appreciate that. And the Conservation Commission operates under the state open meeting law.
Know that one.
Okay.
That one I do know.
Please describe your knowledge of this law. So,
Well, as part of the the Recreation Committee,
it's the same,
and it
works
seems
the
that
same
we
way.
are under the same, watch your emails.
Absolutely. If you are appointed, you will be required to take the online state ethics training test. Have you done that before?
I'm trying to remember. I don't think I did.
It's relatively new. Before
Yeah,
you
I was
used
gonna
to.
say, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's relatively new. The state just kind of, once they changed from the Inspector General's office to the Attorney General's office, this whole new set of,
How long ago was that? I'm trying to
probably about a year ago.
I may have, there was something I did, but I'm not sure if that was it.
And this is required under the state ethics law. you will need to file a notice with the town clerk that you completed this test. Do you have any issues or concerns about this?
No, not
It's
at all.
actually, you can do it online.
Sure.
And what you do when you finish the test, you get a certificate that you can file with the town clerk. You can print it off your computer.
No problem. Our company, we do ethics things. I've done those.
Okay. And do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, I mean, as you look, I mean, initially, in fact, when I first came in the first time, I was looking to see what was available, and at that point there was an open space slot,
Yep.
and now that has been rolled in under conservation. So I'm just wondering, what do you think about that will also be in conservation? And is it,
Well, I mean, generally, we have people that work with both situations. I mean, an open space person would be a conservation type person.
I would think.
Yeah, yeah. And I think in the past, we have had open space on conservation on open
There were
space.
some members that had a dual role, and right now there is no open space committee members at all. So I think there needs to be a very thoughtful discussion between the selectmen and the Concom at some point.
Yeah,
To further discussion on how that's going to be handled.
right. See if there's, I think the Concom would want to kind of look at it a little bit and make sure there was no conflict between the two positions. But as Debbie has pointed out, at one point in time, there were some of those crossovers. So,
And I guess the other one is, what do you all see as the challenges, looking ahead that face
well,
this group?
open space it's kind of a unique position. And we just went through
Great one.
well, yeah, that, and the fact that the open space document hadn't been updated. And we were kind of disappointed in what was out there for committee at that point, that it didn't get finished. And thanks to Brent and the Conservation Commission allowing to work there, and with the folks over there helping us, we managed to get it done. So that we could apply for, hopefully, a grant from the state for that recent parcel that we just purchased. Yeah, so that'd be great.
Well, I wasn't actually here for that meeting. I really wanted, because I encouraged my son to get his friends and everybody there. And boy, that went
Well,
right here. It was great, the response.
It was. I mean,
for that.
it's not very often we get a unanimous vote on that type of
Exactly.
an article. It really isn't. And it was really very heartwarming, at least from my personal opinion. That the townspeople thought enough of our work in trying to get it done, and protecting the town and keeping it for future generations. Just unbelievable.
I'm looking forward to having a chance to walk through that area. I think I could almost walk down through the golf course and almost get to it.
You can almost do that.
I think I can.
You
It's
can
very
almost do that.
close.
Yeah, it's
There's a stream right in the middle of it.
yeah.
There's
Well,
a
as
stream
it
in the
is.
way. Yeah. And the other problem is ticks. I've got a bunch of those already.
Yeah, I'm sure they're out there.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Well, actually, you can go if you get on the other side of Mill River.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can come out. It's not right at Weathersfield Street, but it would be a little bit further south of that. I've done some hunting out there in years past, so it's nice land, very nice land. Yeah. Okay, is there any other questions? Okay. All right. Well. Okay.
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Would you prefer I left at this point?
We would, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll call you when we're ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Much made you.
Okay, our next appointment is at 7:30, and look at that, we're right on time.
Wow.
I don't want to meet you, Mr. Chairman.
7:30 PM, Arthur Page to discuss Conservation Commission opening. Mr. Page has submitted a letter and resume. The Conservation Commission has submitted a letter to the Board of Selectmen. The Selectmen can ask the following questions. Arthur? I'll ask you the same question.
Okay.
Why do you want to be on the Conservation Commission?
Well, I deal with what business I have and have had for 10 years, Redgate Farm. I do the horse trails, Bradley Palmer, all of myopia stuff, all that, both public and private. And so I'm dealing with all the Concom in all the towns. and I've been doing it for a while. I do all the beaver work and stuff for Newbury, some beaver work here in town. I don't do much work in town as such. You know, the beaver deceiver at the institution, I did that. But that's what I do. I'm in the woods all the time, replacing culverts, building the trails. I do mowing on the rail trail at Salisbury, so I'm doing it anyways. And whether I could be of any assistance to the town or help Brett by saying, because I do notice there is differences in towns and how they handle things and how they approach things. Just my work anyway, so I figured I'd like to get on the committee.
Okay. And could you tell us a little bit more about yourself here?
Well, I've been past chairman of the Shellfish Committee here in Raleigh. Then I was on, back when we had a mosquito control committee. We had that. I was on that. Like I say, what I do for work now is just all the trail work. I used to do all the mowing for the town of Raleigh, but I've gotten out of that. It's just I got more work than I can handle. More work than my body can handle.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
You want to go to the next one?
Sure. The Conservation Commission's responsibilities and expanded over the past several years from strictly enforcing the state wetlands protection law to enforcing the town's wetlands bylaw, stormwater bylaw, and maintaining large tracts of conservation land. Additionally, the Conservation Commission is involved with a myriad of environmental regulations, including the National Pollution Discharge Elimination System under the Federal Clean Water Act. Please describe your knowledge of responsibilities of the Conservation Commission as related to these laws and regulations. As far as from putting silt fences up or hay bales, this type of thing, doing catch basins like Brett designed for the institution. I'm quite familiar with that, so we don't get the rapid runoff directly into the rivers, into the marshes. We own some, my family owns some large tracts of salt hay, and we still do salt hay. So I am familiar with that aspect of it. I don't know what else without asking me questions, what else? That's good.
Michael?
Yep.
Conservation Commission typically meets every 3 weeks on a Tuesday evening. Are you available to attend the meetings?
Should be no problem.
And you know that the calendar is set a year in advance every November,
Yes.
so that the meetings are all posted.
And also, this appointment is for a 3-year term, which expires on June 30th, 2017.
I wouldn't see any problem with that.
When you're able to make that type of a commitment? Okay. And the Conservation Commission operates under the state open meeting law. Please describe your knowledge of this law.
I am aware of the open meeting law and how everything has to be done in public and no private meetings and anything like that.
Yeah. Okay. So, and you will, as we discussed before, if you were appointed, you would be required to take the state's ethics test, trainings test. So, and it is required by the state ethics law. And you'll need to file a notice with the town clerk if you've completed the test. So.
Now I know some people had mentioned, matter of fact, about conflict of interest, but I do very little work in Raleigh.
Okay.
And since I've given up the dump and the mowing and that stuff for the town, literally, I'm not doing perk tests anymore, so I don't think there'll be any conflict of interest.
Okay, I mean, you can, if you feel that there might be, if something should come up.
But the only thing it would be trapping, because I am a licensed trapper, Commonwealth for the beaver problems. But there's so few other trappers around. I don't know where you're gonna get one.
Yeah. I mean, that, you can talk to the Ethics Commission
Yeah.
and get a
I do
ruling.
know a couple of trappers in Hamilton that if it was a problem, I could let them know.
Do you have any questions for us?
Okay. So I'm going to set the Conservation Commission make a recommendation.
You want to ask him to? You want to ask him to?
Yeah, probably. Would you mind stepping out in the hallway? And we'll get back to you when we
Okay.
talk about this.
There you go, look.
Okay. So that takes care of 725. And now we need to discuss and vote on an appointment to the vacant Conservation Commission seat at 7:35. So we're right on line with that.
Do we only have one opening?
We only have one opening. Unfortunately, because we've got two great candidates. So,
I'd like to just say, make a comment as one of the selectmen. I've known young Arthur for years. He's been involved with the marsh. Been in Raleigh here for 40 years, working down there. He knows what it's, the job's about. Not saying anything the other candidate we had, but I think he's worked with our conservation agent, Mr. Bazelak. I don't think we've had a problem if he gets appointed for this job.
On behalf of the commission, I think the Board of Selectmen has an absolutely marvelous challenge here this evening. Two gentlemen that bring to the table qualities, slightly different nature, but both have experience, qualifications, the interest and enthusiasm that I believe they both would make a positive contribution to serving the town on the commission. And I think it's very fortunate that the town has two individuals such as that who will offer themselves.
now I have to agree with you, Brent, sitting here. I just wish the air conditioner was working. Because
Should have asked one of them if they had air conditioning.
I'm not sure they did, but they, you know, it is a tough decision, and we're going to be sweating it out here, I think. So,
No matter which way it goes, we'll be sweating it out.
yeah. So, is there any other comments from the board?
Well, did two good candidates. It's a tough one.
Yes. Very hard to
Yep.
choose between the two.
Really is. So, hopefully we can convince one or the other into another position, possibly open space.
We just don't let them leave the building, the other one.
One way or the other, we'll have to convince them to do something. But, no, I understand what Jack had to say. I mean, it was, Arthur's been here a while, he's done a lot of work for the town. I know he did a lot down at the dump when they were doing the closure down there. I was involved with that back in 1999, 2000. We were working on that. So, Arthur's taking care of it for us. The requirements that were put out by DEP for that. So, and Arthur's very familiar with the town himself. As he says, he does a lot of, he's done some work on the marshes, he does work with the beaver dams, and that kind of thing. So, it's going to be a tough decision.
But I'd give just a little bit more weight to Arthur, only because his knowledge on the town. And he's worked in many aspects of it, worked with conservation. That would give my weight to just a little bit more than Mr. Moore. That's my take.
I would second that. I would lean just to, it's a very hard choice, but I would lean towards Mr. Page.
I'll make that motion. You didn't make a motion,
No, I didn't make a motion.
unless you got something else to
I,
add, Mr.
unless somebody
Chairman.
else has some
Yeah.
further discussion, I'm all set.
Yeah. I'll make the motion that we appoint Arthur Page to the opening on the Conservation
I'll second that.
Commission.
Okay,
I don't
motion.
know what's the term,
It's a 17, I think.
it's 3? I mean, it's
3 year
not
term.
expired,
It's just under 3 because the
Okay.
June was in July.
so it'd
No,
be for,
it was a vacancy, the person resigned, and back over a year ago. So this has been open for well over a year.
okay, for the 3 years.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, if we can ask the two gentlemen to come back.
I'd like to suggest to Mr. Vogel that we have other openings.
Yeah.
We'd love to have him.
Mr. Chairman, so we desperately need people in the historical commission.
Yes.
And actually, who's in Parks and Rec.
Hello.
You're back.
This has been a tough decision. It really has. I mean, we were beating up on each other here for a little bit. So, and we picked it on the day that the air conditioning wasn't working. So we're kind of showing a little glow here because we're sweating like crazy. But the board discussed it and took a vote, and we voted to appoint Mr. Page. Now, please don't get discouraged,
Okay,
because we have some other seats that we can certainly use you in.
okay.
Okay, and one of them is that open space seat that you mentioned. If you're willing to do something with that, we'd be more than glad to have you come along.
Okay.
We also, I don't know what what you do with history, but we have some openings on the Historic District Commission, on the Historical Commission. It's a dual board. If you're interested in history and things like that, we certainly could use some expertise there.
And we have Parks and Recreation is also available too.
Maybe that's part, I saw that in Parks and Recreation, maybe that would be another place. Because I absolutely
Yeah,
been doing that for quite a while.
But we'd like to encourage you to
Okay,
very definitely.
pick something and,
We,
yeah,
we
we'd like to have
really,
you.
we really don't want to lose you.
No.
okay, okay.
We really don't.
It was a really tough decision. It was very close.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, well, hey, thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I'll get back.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Please
Thank
do.
you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
for coming in.
Thanks, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is the fire chief here?
Yeah.
Chief is here. Yes, he is.
Okay, I hate to do this, but it is on for 7:45, and I don't want to get too far behind. I know you folks came in for a very special meeting tonight, so if you could just bear with us a little bit longer, we'll get through it. Can we get the fire chief to come in?
May I be of further service to the board?
Could you fix the Mr. Chairman,
Within my
I think
skill
the
set.
chief he's got a lot of materials to review.
Okay.
And if we could squeeze in this,
Let
you
me
know,
ask the chief.
appointment.
Brian, I think we're all set, unless you want to discuss something about the, just acknowledge the Mill River land and the project that went on there with the.
Oh, well, yeah, the project's not finished, but I did provide the board with color photographs of the signage that's been erected.
Right.
I think those photographs at this point in time speak for themselves in regards to the advancement of this service project.
Yes, and we actually have an Eagle Scout project going on right now, and they're doing some work on the Mill River Conservation Land that was a bank gift to the town of Rowley up on Weathersfield Street. And the sign is up, and it looks really nice. Done a good job
One
with it.
side of the road.
On one side of the
The
road.
other side was previously had been donated to the town, and now have matching signs that
Signs.
identify
Wonderful.
our
So,
open space.
very good. We
Thank you.
appreciate that very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate the board's time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brent.
Chief, we got you on the agenda for 7:45.
Yes.
Do you mind if we sneak out about 5-10 minutes out of your presentation to do it?
Can we postpone you for another?
Oh, I guess so. That's That's what you called me in for?
Well, we actually have
we'll
a,
do that.
it won't take long.
Alright, promise.
I
Okay.
promise you. You can stay too if you want.
It's cooler in here at night.
Okay, don't rub it in, don't rub it in. Okay. Let me go to, that's the appointment sign.
A few more people coming in.
Get back into this one. Okay, this would be under new business number 2. And it's from the Town of Raleigh Police Department, Raleigh Board of Selectmen, Town Hall, Raleigh, Mass. Dear Honorable Board of Selectmen, I hereby recommend that you appoint Charles G. Hazen Jr., 12 Havel Street, Raleigh, Mass., to the position of full-time patrolman with the Raleigh Police Department effective August 1st, 2014, and expiring on June 30th, 2017. Charles is a longtime resident of Raleigh and first joined the police department as a dispatcher 9 years ago. Has it been that long?
Oh,
My God, I'm getting old. Well, I wouldn't have believed it. He has also served as a reserve police officer for 7 years. During his tenure with the Raleigh Police Department, he has demonstrated excellence in the performance of his duties on many occasions and has provided to be a dependable and dedicated employee. During the selection process, a panel of 2 chiefs and 3 sergeants from various agencies interviewed all the candidates exclusively, and Charles was selected unanimously as the #1 candidate. Wow. Charles also scored highest in the physical abilities test. Charles has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and meets all the requirements of a full-time police officer, except for a full-time police academy which he must attend within 9 months of his appointment. I truly believe that Charles will make an excellent full-time police officer and will serve his community in this capacity for many years. Respectfully submitted, Robert R. Barker, Chief of Police. You got anything to say, Chief?
I think I said most of it in the letter, but...
You really did, but
That's heartfelt, you know. I felt like I needed to keep it short, but I could have gone a little longer. Chuck has been a great employee for us, and we're going to miss him in one capacity because he's one of our finest dispatchers, but we'll take advantage of his abilities in another capacity and put him on the street. And I think the town of Raleigh will be a much better place with Chuck on the road. And these guys here are here telling you pretty much the same thing.
that's great. Congratulations, Chuck.
Thank you.
So now we got to make it official.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
could I make a motion?
you certainly can.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to appoint Charles Hazen. I want to get the right
Also
initial.
second it.
Charles G. Charles G. Hazen Jr. We want to make sure we get the right one. Appointed as a police officer for the town of Raleigh Police Department. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Charles, congratulations.
Congratulations, Chuck.
You got to call me Chuck.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Officer Hazen. Do you have a camera or anything? Take a picture?
I have Carol.
Let's take a picture, come on.
Bring it.
That's important.
Take a picture.
Are we,
We're going to do this.
come over in my corner.
Okay.
Congratulations, Sue.
Thank you.
Next
middle.
Chairman.
Am I sure? I know I'm
Come on, Mom.
Come on, come on.
I promised him I wouldn't embarrass him.
And that's a promise you can never keep.
Isn't that true? I don't live in, I can send it to you. I do. It takes me longer to find the right spot on the camera.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
No problem. Thank you.
Congratulations.
I'm taking the fire chief. good candidate.
Absolutely.
Excellent guy.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, lovely boy.
Yep.
I move we adjourn.
No, he excelled it already. He excelled it already. You know, it's when you go down to the station, you ask him.
Chief, come on
He
in.
knows everything. You know?
Yeah.
There's the chief.
Chief, thank you for allowing us to do
Oh,
that.
not a problem.
So this is appointment, the 7:45 appointment, which we're about, see, Chief, I told you, it's only 5 minutes late. Fire Chief James Broderick to discuss ladder truck.
Okay, I sent you a package last week. I hope you had a chance to review it. I know there was an awful lot. But just to kind of paraphrase the letter I sent with it, please present the price of the new ladder truck for Greenwood Emergency Vehicles. This price quote is based on 2014 Fire Chiefs Association of Massachusetts, FCAM/Metropolitan Area Planning Commission, the MAPC cooperative bid program that is compliant with Mass General Law Chapter 30B. Enclosed in this document, I gave the copy of the FCAM MAPC contract with Greenwood Emergency Vehicles, a copy of the fire apparatus proposal for the town, the truck, our truck with the price and allowance for the current trade-in of the current C-grade ladder truck. A copy of a document specifying available discount options if the town decides to prepay the cost of the ladder truck prior to construction. I got to emphasize this is an option, it's not a requirement to do. And also included with it was an estimate for the cost of taking all the radios, the David Clark headsets, the portable radio chargers, thermal imager, the Knox box, key out of the current truck and putting them in the new truck. And also a cost estimate of conducting a ladder company operations course for the department, which will give many of the newer people in the department who didn't attend the last one a chance to understand how to safely operate the ladder truck in the fires and stuff. To further go on, in order to be able to order for FCAM MAPC cooperative bid, the town's fire chief must be a member in good standing in the organization, which I am. The contract is between MAPC and the apparatus dealer, and as such, there is no contract necessary between the town of Raleigh and Greenwood Emergency Vehicles. In order to purchase the vehicle, all that is needed to be done is the signing of a purchase order, and this is similar to when we purchased the Tahoe last year. The total price for the vehicle, including the trade-in value of the current ladder truck, is $706,879.93. And this would be for an E1 Cyclone 2 cab Metro 100 ladder truck. Expected delivery of this truck would be 240 days after the receipt and proper execution of the attached agreement by both parties. If the agreement is executed by the end of July, we would expect delivery sometime near the end of March next year. I did attach the final specification, which are almost identical to what I presented to the board several months ago. It is everything that we talked about that night that we've got. We also were able to get the rollover protection, the airbags, some other options that we were able to get for safety. It came in really under what we asked for at town meeting. One of the things I could add on here, and again, this is up to the board, that if the board so decides to prepay the $706,000, upon delivery of the truck, we would get a guaranteed discount of $17,671.99. Again, it's not a requirement. It's something that if you choose to, it could lower the overall cost of the truck, although we would have to pay the full amount up front to get that discount. And what that would be is, the way it was explained to me, was when the truck comes back, they'll give us a check for $17,671.99.
So we would do it anyways, correct? Would you bond it?
We're gonna bond it, right? Is that gonna go under for bond,
It is, it's funded through a debt exclusion.
that exclusion? Okay.
The selectmen, the chief and I had a conversation
Yeah.
about some of these points, and they would require, obviously, the contract has to be approved by the Board of Selectmen. And
Yep.
if that's a feature you want to pursue, under this contract, apparently, there is a provision, if you do the prompt payment, you get that $17,000 credit. So I haven't had a chance to discuss it with the treasurer.
I think we probably wanna talk to Karen about that, the town treasurer, just to see how she would handle it on her end of it. I don't know what the interest would be on,
I don't know. There was two different options. You could pull the full payment and then get the 17,000, or if you decided to put some money forward, it would be based on 3% simple interest, and that would be for a year's worth of accrual. So I don't know how much that would be, but again, and it's not something that has to be done. It was just an option that they provided the community to.
one way or the other. I mean, I'd just like to look at the interest on both
We're not
sides.
paying it anyway upon delivery, so
Right.
it's under this contract.
It
You
would
have
be,
to pay.
we would
You
pay it
have
up front,
You're
and then
paying upfront anyway.
Yeah,
This is just paying the entire amount upfront,
up front.
which the treasurer is going to borrow anyway.
Right.
I mean, that's not an issue. We're going to have the cash.
right, and I would like to see what the interest would be on what she would borrow versus what we could get 17,000 back the other way. I'd like to see the numbers on both sides and see what it looks like. I mean, it sounds pretty good there. You get 17,000, check up 17,000. We could have a big party.
It's certainly an incentive.
And we could even get the air conditioner fixed.
Not under this scenario.
Oh, chief, you didn't put an air conditioner in the truck?
There is one in the truck.
Oh,
Climate
okay.
rehab system.
No.
So that would be less than the treasurer, so we would have that refund.
Right,
Be in the form of a
upon delivery.
refund.
Yeah. It
So
would be
how
an
does that
offset.
apply to the debt exclusion and people that this is, over and above
Right.
Proposition
To
2.5?
see how it would work. I mean, we're certainly not gonna have a party, and we're not gonna be able to fix the air conditioner,
No.
so. It's just, we are getting a little hot here, so. Bear with us, please, folks.
Is there any questions? I don't want to bore you with all the boilerplate there, but if
No,
there's
no,
a
I mean,
specific
as you
question.
said, it's boilerplate. We did discuss it,
Right.
before in depth, and thought that we were, you seemed to be able to get the price to where we could get some of those safety features that we were.
Everything that we
discussing
talked about,
Yeah.
that, it's not a fancy truck, but for firefighter safety in the community, it's going to be. We did a really good job, and I think we got a really good price on it, even without that discount.
Now, what we got to realize is that since 1928, and actually it even goes back before that, it goes into the 1880s, when the town bought its first ladder truck, which was a Marblehead. This will be the first time we have a brand new ladder truck.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not an antique when we first get it.
So, I mean, we are doing very well.
We're stepping
We
up.
really are. Yeah. Yeah, actually, they bought very, very sharp money, a ladder truck from Marblehead, and then couldn't find a place to store it. Wound up selling it to some guy for like $20.
Oh,
That was back in the 1880s.
It was kind of like a thorn over Marblehead. We came up with the idea of how we would fit it in the building. So Marblehead strikes again, I guess. But I'm excited, and we'll be back to where we should be, not too distant future.
How long will it take for the building of
John said once the contract's signed and it gets through the pipeline, it would probably start construction sometime the end of the summer, and it should be. They're talking 8 months from the time the order's placed to delivery, so it might even be a little bit faster. It all depends on how many trucks are in the pipeline at that particular time.
So, Deborah, we got any openings on the 28th that we might be able to talk to Karen and maybe have her and the chief come in and we'll discuss the interest part of it?
Yeah, well, I can set them up. I need to look, we do have a hearing that evening, so either that or I could have her provide a written memo
That would be
to
good.
the board.
Yeah.
And
because
we
I,
can
you
take
know,
this up under old business.
right, and we would like to get that contract signed, you know,
Right.
if we could by the 28th. So,
Yep.
Okay.
okay.
We'll plan on the 28th
All
then
right.
for the selectmen to vote on it.
Good story, chief.
Thank you.
Good job, Chief. I think it's gonna work.
It was nothing because I did. It was all because we happened to be in the right place at the right time. And that's how we found out about it.
How long will it take to do the alterations to the program?
The alterations have started already. We've removed the asbestos out of the boiler room, and now we're working on the next phase, which is be moving the plumbing and what have you, so that we can start the demolition and construction. We're planning on having this all done before the winter, because I don't want to be doing, having them doing plumbing work and when it's freezing out and have no heat down there. So we're hoping to have it all done before, November.
Excellent. You got my email this afternoon?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Have no problem with that.
All right.
Just let me know and I'll let Mark know. and
I'll
we
know
can-
by tomorrow night.
Okay.
Expecting the 1st of March or the end of March?
Well, let me put it this way. I'm going to say
Or maybe
the end of
early.
March, and if it comes early, it's gravy and icing on the cake.
Station will be ready.
The station will be ready, and any unforeseen circumstances, it should be here by the end of March, and that's what I'm going to shoot for. If it comes in early, well, that's great.
Good story.
Okay. Anything else?
I think that's gonna be it, Chief.
All right. Have a good night.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Chief.
Thank you.
Oh, prime.
And that takes care of our appointments. We got through that one okay. And we now have our new highway surveyor, Pat Snow, in the audience tonight. So Pat, I'm gonna jump down to old business.
I think the police chief was gonna be here.
Okay, is he-
He's coming back, so.
Oh, is he coming back? I tried to get you out of here, Pat. I know you don't wanna stay in his heat, so
Don't
we'll.
worry about it.
Okay. As long as you,
My daughter's sleeping with little grandma and grandpa tonight, so.
okay. Oh, Chief's back.
Chief's back.
I thought the fire chief would take a little longer.
Okay, so we'll jump down to old business number 2, which is continued discussion on request to place children at play signs on Summer and Independent Streets. Okay, and old business. Continue discussion on request to replace children at play signs on Summer and Independent Streets. Jonathan Bennett is requesting the placement of children at play signs along the perimeter of the town common, especially along Independent and Summer Streets. The selectmen requested a report and recommendation from Police Chief Robert Barker on this request. Chairman Murray will read the memo from Chief Barker. Highway Surveyor Pat Snow has also reviewed this request and has sent the selectmen a memo, which Chairman Murray will read into the record. Okay. Why don't I start with Mr. Bennett's letter? It says, Dear Chairman of the Board of Selectmen, I am writing to request that the board consider erecting children at play signs along the perimeter of the town common, especially along Independent and Summer Street side of the common. See attached Rowley MIMAP mini map, maybe. I appreciate your considering this request, Jonathan D. Blodgett. And he's looking for a sign at the beginning of Independence Street off of Main headed north, and a children's sign at the intersection of Summer and Independent on the common side. Okay, we've got a memorandum from Patrick Snow, Highway Surveyor. I inspected the area of Independence Street from Main Street to Summer Street on Monday, June 23rd, 2014, and found the following. There are 6 posts with 9 signs along this area of road. This area of Independence Street measures approximately 480 feet in length. In my opinion, the addition of 2 more signs in this very small area will create more sign clutter than what is already present, diverting motorists' attention from the road as well as any objects that may be in the road. And we have a memorandum from Police Chief Robert Barker. A request for children playing signs at the town common. I have received your request for information regarding the placement of children playing signs at the Raleigh Town Common. I will start by pointing out that we have no authority to place such signs on the Main Street side of the common, since that is a state road and all signage and regulation must go through the state DOT. In reviewing the data available for the town sides of the common, I went back 5 years and found 44 traffic stops for speeding, 8 traffic stops for stop sign violation, 7 miscellaneous moving traffic offenses, and 5 motor vehicle collisions. These numbers incorporate all of Independent, Summer, and part of Bradford Streets. Our computer software will not allow for a more focused search. These numbers do not indicate a serious problem in the area. None of the crashes involved a pedestrian, and only one of the crashes reported minor injuries. The rest were non-injury accidents. Given these statistics, I don't believe the children playing signs would be significantly effective. A suggestion in the alternative would be to have children playing painted on the street on Summer and Independent Streets. This tends to be more visible to drivers and eliminates sign clutter, which actually reduces the amount of information processed by drivers. The Highway Department has been working with the painting company to use similar markings in other areas of the community, and perhaps this could be added to the program. Respectfully submitted, Chief Robert Barker. So what do we think? What do you think of that idea, Pat, the painting the children playing?
I really have no problem with this. I know the only thing I worry about is town people objecting to it, mainly because it's an historical district or something like that. But I really have no problem. I can talk to the painting company that we've used in the past and see what they have to offer. How much it would be to do something like that.
I mean, to me, that seems like a reasonable compromise.
Yeah.
I have to agree with you on the signs. I mean, if there's 9 signs there, 480 feet, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just every time you go by, there's a sign.
Yeah, that's a major concern for me as well.
Yeah.
The more you put up there, people just.
They ignore it. Once you see
Yeah.
one, that the rest of them, they don't even pay attention to.
I felt the painting on the street, if it was possible, might be a little less intrusive.
Right. I don't know, is there I'm sure we'll have to pay for that, to have the sign company to do it.
I'd have to inquire with them to see. I've never personally seen anything like that in any of the towns surrounding us.
Okay.
But I can definitely inquire with painting companies on if they do things like that on roads.
So, what's the rest of the board think?
How about, Mr. Chairman, around town, a lot of people with a lot of children around have these little signs with a flag on it in the driveway. I think that might help, that if we advise them to buy a couple, with a little flag, children at play. You really, if you're driving around and you see one, you pay attention to it. I do. I'm around town all the time. I'm sure Pat, you probably, and the chief, people have them little signs with a little flag, they're orange or green or yellow. Up through Wilson Pond, there's probably 2 or 3 up there, by their driveway, not blocking the roadway itself. But if you see it,
But we wouldn't want it placed on the common, though.
no, not on the common, no, in the person's yard.
Yeah, usually
These are off the road, they're in the people's yards. where the
usually
children
it's in the
are.
driveway.
Yeah, in the driveway. There's a dozen around Raleigh.
There's no substitution for watching the children too. I mean, signs only go so far.
Right.
You need to be vigilant with young children near the street, especially busy streets.
Well, the thing, Chief, too, is these people have multiple children, little ones, and, you gotta pay attention, and
Right.
especially, with a lot of children around. They put them in the driveways, and, I pay attention to it. My guys do in my truck all over town picking trash, and they're not a problem. They're not out in the road. They're probably, the average of them are right on by the sidewalk, a little bit beyond the sidewalk. Maybe if we wrote a letter or someone could talk to them, because that's a slow street up here on the end there, right on the end.
Yeah.
There's no one banging in there 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. There's not a lot of speeders, as you said.
It's under 10 speeding tickets a year,
Yeah.
and that encompasses, like I said, part of Bradford Street as well, just because it's the way the selection software works. So, and 5 crashes, one a year. At least one of those was a snow crash.
Yeah, right here is an example next to the light plant where Mr. Lockhart is and his grandchildren. There's 4 or 5 there.
Yeah.
Even in that driveway, he's got a business they drive in, but the sidewalk, he's got a sign. And another one is down on the corner of Bradford Street, Dave Roberts' daughter, up on the sidewalk. Kids playing, watch out.
Yeah, I don't see the addition of the signs on either side of the common of benefit. But I would like to see, if you could get some information on painting that on the street.
I have seen, I think in certain towns, roads that are short like that where they painted, slow, things like that. So I
Yeah.
can ask if I know they can do words. Symbols I'm not too sure about, but I mean.
Oh, we wouldn't need a symbol. I think the words would be fine.
Okay.
Slow children playing, or
Yeah.
Or just
children
even
playing slow,
slow,
or something.
Yeah.
Like
or
that.
just even slow.
Yeah, even that.
Yeah.
Even that.
We'd
Just
probably save some money if it was just one word.
Yeah,
I can tell you
I-
that
yeah.
much.
Well, I don't, usually when you see those signs, you usually see slow children, and then you'll see slow children, and is a child, following a ball or something across the street.
That's
while
changed.
playing.
I can say that's changed a little bit now. Now they want us to go with more just a large yellow sign, reflective sign that just says children on it now. Just so that there's not so much for people to have to
To try to
take
absorb.
in. Exactly.
Yeah.
we had a lengthy discussion about the effectiveness of signs when we were talking about the intersection of Central Street and Glen Street and Route 1, and the state people that came out looked at that and they said, look at all these signs here, it's no wonder we're having so many crashes. So that's one of the things that they're doing, is trying to simplify the signs, and I think that's exactly what Patrick is saying.
I think if you have a tendency to pay more attention when you're coming down the street and you see that slow children on the painted on the street, on the pavement, you have more of a tendency to
Because you're watching the road.
Yeah.
right,
Right.
you're watching the road.
Right.
So I
I can definitely look into that.
look into that.
How much that would cost us.
I understand what they're saying.
Oh, yeah.
You have children,
Absolutely.
you know what can happen. You
Yeah.
take your
Absolutely.
second, and next thing they're it's like a magnet. They're drawn to the street. But
Well, you've got a lot of the roads covered, Pat, though, haven't you, with children at play? And
Yeah, this
in the
we have
last
quite a
year,
few
you guys
signs
have
up
put
that
a
say
lot out
children.
around town. Yeah, especially up by the country club. I like that. Don't drink and drive
Yeah, yeah.
and stuff like that.
But you're talking a rural area, there's a lot less
Yeah.
signage up there, so
Yeah.
it tends to have a little bit more impact.
Metal thieves seem to like to.
But I understand their concerns.
Oh, absolutely.
Completely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Pat, if you could get back to us, maybe see what it would take to get possibly some painting, or what they suggest, what the
Yep.
sign painter might suggest, or what other towns are doing, that
Yep.
type of thing.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
And we can maybe come up with a solution here.
Yeah.
And I think Jack's idea was a good one. I mean, if they wanted to, I know they used to sell those at
Yeah.
Home Depot.
Yeah, they come-
Yeah, Home Depot
Styles
has
places
carries
like
them.
that. So, I mean, it might be worthwhile for them, if we suggest that to them, to at least put one of those out there in front of their house.
When's the next time, Pat, they come through and they start to paint our crosswalks?
States already started. The crosswalks we usually do before until school starts, so about August, and then
Okay.
we'll start entertaining prices for painting lines probably in the next couple of weeks. So it's all moving forward towards winter.
That's right.
Okay. So, anything else? We can try to work on that, or at least we'll try to work
Got
on
a plan.
it. Okay,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right.
thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Chief. Thank you,
Have a
John.
night.
All right, we can jump back to new business. And number 4, request to hang 375th anniversary banner on the town common backstop. The 375th anniversary committee is requesting permission to hang a banner on the town common backstop.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second
Grant
it.
that.
If I could comment before we vote on that, what we did was a member of the committee, Karen Zimlak, approached the Coke company, and they agreed to do 2 banners for us. And we want to hang one on the backstop for more visibility, and we are thinking about hanging the second one at the Veterans Garage on Route 1. And what we're trying to do is promote our concerts on the Common and the 375th anniversary celebration.
Good location, Joe.
Yep.
For the garage.
So, call for a motion.
I made that motion.
I made it.
Oh, you made the motion.
Yeah.
I second it, that's right.
Motion made and seconded to allow
one
the
way or the other.
375th
One way.
committee to hang a banner on the town common backstop. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. That finishes new business. We go back to old business. Number 1, discuss 375 events.
Thank you. I'll only spend an hour or so on it.
Well, let me read what we're gonna do here then. Discuss 375th event. The Board of Selectmen needs to discuss sending letters to Senator and Representative Hill requesting formal acknowledgements, proclamations, marking the town's 375th event anniversary. Joe Perry will provide an update on the other 375th related events.
What we're looking for is we would like a letter out to Senator Bruce Tarr for a Senate proclamation, and we'd like Senator Tarr to come out on Thursday, September 4th for the opening ceremonies, acknowledging the founding of the town of Raleigh on September 4th, 1639. And we'd like to send a letter to Representative Brad Hill of Ipswich to get a proclamation from the House and inviting Representative Hill to come to the opening ceremony again on September 4th at the Town Hall. And we'd like to get a letter out to, I keep messing this one up, but it's not a town of Raleigh, England.
And actually, it's spelled R-O-W-L-E-Y.
Right.
It's pronounced Rowley
Rowley
in England. That's
Parish.
how they pronounce it. Rowley Parish in England.
in
In the town
England.
of Little Wheaton.
And we'd like to get a letter over to them to see if we can get some kind of acknowledgement of the Ezekiel.
Some
hanging
of
right there.
that. That was a 350th up there.
And we have Ezekiel Rogers came over from the parish 375 years ago, and we'd like to have the opening ceremony and start the celebration that weekend with those proclamations and a letter from Rowley. I'd like to mention the past Saturday we had the Merrimack Cat Company on the bandstand, and they were awesome. They did an excellent job, and that was our second of 5 concerts on the Common. The Three Amigos were our first, Merrimack Cat Company. Now in 2 weeks approximately, on Saturday the 26th, we're going to have the Community Band of Wyndham on the bandstand from 6 to 8 p.m. In the Saturdays, every Saturday in August, the Raleigh Historical Society is going to have an open house from 1 to 3 p.m. On August 2nd, Jack Grunstrom is going to talk about the 100 years of shellfishing. On August 9th, Carol LeBeau, silhouette artist, the art of silhouette. And on the 16th, Mary Ellen Smiley, curator of the Salem Museum, will talk about spinning. And on August 23rd, our chairman, Bob Murray, will talk about 19th century shoemaking in Raleigh. And then on August 9th, back to the concerts on the Common, the North Shore Concert Band. We're looking for an outstanding evening. I've heard them at Salem Willows. They're really quite a group. And on August 23rd, Boston Rockabilly Band will be on the bandstand. Again, the concerts on the Common are from 6 to 8 p.m. The anniversary of Raleigh's incorporation will be on Thursday, September 4th at the Town Hall. And on Friday, September 5th, we will have a concert by the Three Amigos on the bandstand from 6 to 8 p.m. That's a Friday. On Saturday is our big day. We're going to have from 11 a.m. we're going to have a Pied Piper parade, and we want to emphasize what we're going to do is we're going to form up the parade down by Railroad Avenue in Jellison Road, but we want people as the parade comes by to join in the end of the parade and come down to the town common, because we're going to have food on the common, we're going to have the band reunion playing on the common, and we're going to have the picture. Every 25 years we take a picture of the residents on the common, and that will be at 2 o'clock. On Sunday, September 7th, we're going to have the church services at St. Mary's, at the First Congregational, and at the Baptist Church. And then we're hoping to have a meal on the town common to celebrate the closing of the weekend ceremonies. And I want to thank all of the members of the committee who have done an outstanding job. They've worked very hard. We've been at it for over a year, and I think that it's been fun so far, and I thought the concerts would be a great addition to our summer, and so far they've proven to be, and I think if you come to the next 3 or 4 concerts, you're going to see you can have some fun on the common and enjoy the music. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome. Okay, old business number 3. And that's the town administrator updates.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, just want to update the board on a few things. We had met with the contractor on the annex exterior project, so we're still going over and working on the punch list of items that we developed on that project. The town hall clock has been restored and is working. If you notice that, it's in the cupola. It's functioning. It's the right time. And we'll stay on the right time thanks to Chairman Murray, who did a lot of work to help with that installation. But we really were lucky to have a great clock repairman restore that treasure of the town. Town hall lighting fixture project. Cotter Electric will be installing new fixtures and converting the existing ones. Been working closely with Chairman Murray on that project, so we'll probably do something and get a lot of this done on a Friday afternoon, maybe into a Saturday, because we have to turn off the power in different locations in the building. The library exterior painting contract that closes on July 17th, so hopefully we'll have some vendors in for that and work on that and get that over to the Board of Trustees so they can execute a contract, hopefully with a good vendor. And staff and I are just still finalizing specifications on the flooring for the various offices at the town hall. And we are still working on the town hall window specifications. And on the Girl Scout land, the survey work is still going on. That was one other thing, believe it or not. It's just such a huge parcel of land. They're out there working, and so that hasn't been completed yet.
Okay, any comments or questions? Or? No? Okay. The next item agenda is minutes for June 30th, 2014. Has everybody had a chance to go?
Mr. Chairman, we've asked that we actually realized in reviewing it, we had a couple of things that were missing. So could we hold that, please?
Oh, sure. Yep. That'll be fine. So we'll hold the minutes. So that brings us down to announcements. And the town has the following vacancies. Fence viewer, 2 positions. Wood, lumber, and bark inspector. And zoning board of appeals associate, 2 open seats. Historical commission, historic district commission, 4 seats. Parks and recreation committee, 2 seats. For more information on these positions, please contact the Selectmen's office at 978-2372. 375 anniversary information and events are posted on the town's website, www.townofrowley.net. Rowley Food Pantry is in need of donations. The food pantry is open Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Thursdays from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. And they are looking for sanitary items, cleaning items, and non-perishable foods. And please check the expiration dates on your canned goods and things so that we don't get into trouble with that. Water customers need to call Penachek at 1-800-553-5191 now for billing, payment, and customer service questions. Compact fluorescent light bulbs may be recycled at the Rowley Municipal Light Plant, 47 Summer Street. Light bulbs can be brought down during normal business hours. They will accept the compact fluorescents or the curly-Q type lights, but they are not going to take the long, narrow tubes, the 4-foot or 2-foot tubes. Those have to be recycled during the town's recycling process. Northern Essex Mosquito Control, aerial application of BTI larvicide between July 11th and July 25th. So if you hear the helicopter out there flying around, hopefully they're getting those pesky little guys. And that's it for tonight.
I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much.